Welcome to another edition of Overtime. I'm Alexis Williams, and I am happy to be sitting here with Mo, the creator of Money and Violence, and his executive producer, Styles.
So you guys are the masterminds behind Money and Violence, basically.
Well, he is.
You're the mastermind behind Money and Violence. Yeah. You just got...
Helped him out.
You helped him out?
Yeah, just helped him out a little bit.
Helped him out a little bit. So can you tell us a little bit about the show? Anything?
You want me to tell?
Just, tell us,
Man, listen, Money and Violence is like the new millennial hot thing that's out. You know what I'm saying? And it started organically on the internet. Moses here created the show. You know, he kind of just got a couple of his friends. Actually, I tell you like this. Somebody put me onto Money and Violence. Our other partner put me onto Money and Violence. Was like, yo, watch this. I'm like,
you're like, yo, what are you trying to tell me to watch?
I don't want to watch this. I'm like, I want to watch shows on the internet.
Yeah.
So, you know, he got me to watch it, and I watched it, and I watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. I got to reach out to this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I hit him up. I figured he was in charge. He looked like the boss on the TV. I figured he was in charge. That's what happened. So I hit him up on Instagram, and I just simply DM'd him like, yo, I got an opportunity for you. Give me a holler.
So you slid in his DMs is what
oh,
I'm
man.
That
don't even sound right. But I hit him up.
You walked yourself into that one, and I'm 22, so how do you know that?
Good, that's
you
good.
Give me a pass
No,
on
it's
that.
all good, man. It's all good. Touche. When I come back at you, don't say nothing.
Feel free. People take shots at me every week. We had a comedian tell me I sound like a phone sex operator. So I can dish it. I work with I have brothers. Like you're good. You're good. I grew up with brothers, so you know.
No, I got you. So basically, I heard after I found him on the internet and we talked, it was like, you know how you never seen something before, but now you hear it. You heard it that one time, and then it just seemed to be everywhere. Everybody was just talking about it. It was like I was in an oblivious world because I didn't hear about it until I heard about it, and then it was like, yo, where you been at? Like, yo, this show is crazy, and it kind of just started from there. We kind of hooked up, and I had a production company that I was with, and I figured I could bring him towards the TV side of stuff because everybody that was hitting him up. I walked in, he was like talking to Puff on the, what's that called?
FaceTime.
The FaceTime, and people hitting him up like, yo, we want the show, and Russell Simmons and this person. I'm like, yo, I'm never gonna get this kid.
And I was like, no.
And then, one of the reasons why we teamed up because I actually brought him to people that can help put this out to television. You know what I mean? And Money and Violence, what I love about the show, and something that we don't talk about often, in every episode, even though it had, the money and the violence in it, every episode there was a lesson. Like it taught something to the kids, it taught something to the youth. And it was a message in every single episode. And I was like, yo, this is so dope because I love it for what it's talking about. I related to every character in there. But it wasn't this frivolous violence. It was messages in everything that happened. So I was sitting there like, yo, this show's incredible, man. And we just kind of teamed up. And my job and my other partner job was to, they was at like 500,000 views. How do we get them and market this the right way and put it out the right way? So we just used a couple of our connections and, start getting them on radio interviews by like the Breakfast Club and Hot 97 and, some TV interviews, Sway in the Morning and all that. And then we went to like 20 million views and then the phone started ringing.
What is that like to see your project that you started with one camera, one microphone, blow up into this and, potentially be something that's on a Netflix or a major network or anything like that?
It's humbling, At the end of the day, I see it all as a privilege, and I try my best to just stay aware of the fact that it is a privilege, and just like any privilege, as it was given, it can be taken away. So just be grateful for it.
And you guys were talking about earlier about a production company you started.
Yeah, we partnered up and started a company called Intellectual Property.
Made in Brooklyn.
And Intellectual Property, we're pretty much taking on projects, creating projects, and also developing projects to bring to television. What we have right now, we have
the Jim and Chrissy show.
The Jim and Chrissy show. We have the podcast with Uncle Murder and Mano, Brooklyn Boys, as well as we have a comedy series that I wrote called My Love Life According to Social Media.
So we,
That
we
sounds
working.
interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
And
like,
we also-
wait, hold on. I gotta ask a little more questions about this.
Yeah,
What
we
is-
go-
And it's slid in the DMs, exactly, exactly. See, and that's what it's pretty much centered. It's centered around millennial dating and just how funny it is, you know.
Oh my god, the
how-
amount of DMs like
Yeah,
I've slid in or like have gone.
Exactly. I mean,
That's so
everything
funny.
from the obs, like, you know, a guy slides in your DMs, and next thing you know, the next message, he's sending you an obscene picture of his body part. Like, just stupidness.
is
And it's
so
hilarious.
Yeah, no,
it's
it-
hilarious, you know what I mean? So,
That's
you think about
awesome.
all the funny stories of what you go through on social media as far as the dating scene that you go through. So, what we did was created a comedy series, a sitcom.
That's awesome. I'm stoked for that. Like that's. I think that's fun because you know everyone can relate to it.
Yeah, and we also doing a book venture with President Obama with his book My Brother's Keeper. They have a separate book venture outside of the books that he's doing himself. So he has a platform called a non-for-profit called My Brother's Keeper, and our other partner, he has a book venture at Simon & Schuster. So they doing that. We have like 70 influential men of color that's writing 2-page essays about talking to their younger selves.
Giving
You know,
them, yeah.
giving them
That's
advice
awesome.
to their younger self. So it's on like topics are like recidivism, politics, religion, business. So you know we have like Dr. J, we have Congressman Keith Ellis, the
Steph
black-
Curry.
Steph Curry, T.D. Jakes,
Me.
Yeah. It's an important one. Come on.
Charlemagne the God. It's a bunch of people that wrote their essays, man. I was fortunate to read a couple of them already. So, and we also supposed to be shooting a docu-series to that. So it's like Jesse Williams, Michael Wright, Michael K. Williams, Jesse Wright.
Diddy.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of people, man. So yeah,
That's
we're
awesome.
working. You know what I mean?
That's
So
a lot. You guys are just.
yeah,
We're doing our best.
You're doing it and you're chasing it.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, the great thing with us is, at the end of the day, like, we're using our opportunities to actually make a contribution. You know, it's not just about taking. So we're trying to touch all bases, you know, like, even with the comedy, with My Love Life according to social media, it's what's relevant, it's what's going on today. Because what we like to do is shed a light. We like our stuff to be relevant.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you talked about in Money and Violence. Something will happen the day before, and you guys show it on Money and Violence.
so yeah, the next day.
That's amazing. Now, what lessons do you want the audience members to get from Money and Violence, or anything you guys put out there?
At the end of the day, you know, life, this is the thing. I've learned that in life you learn through experiences, you know, and there's a lot of experiences. I think about my life when I think back. There's a lot of experiences that, in all honesty, I'm lucky to have survived. So therefore, if through writing it or depicting it in a visual, I can actually teach, you know, some of the younger generation that lesson, then maybe I can avoid them having to go through an experience that maybe they won't survive. You understand? It's a lot of different lessons, but the biggest lesson that, you know, we're trying to teach with the stories that we're telling, and even with our backstory of how we came together, is that in life, a lot of us don't realize, but our biggest obstacle is that we don't realize that the only thing that's really standing in our way is ourselves. You know?
And just to piggyback off of him, like, off of that is, like, don't limit yourself, man. You know, I'm a kid that, I got a high school education. All my other brothers been to college. I'm never been to college. I ain't never think I was gonna see 25. You know what I'm saying? Or 30. You know, I'm 40 years old. So it's crazy. You know, I was a music producer for a long time, produced a lot of big records, and my mind had a one-track mind. Like, I'm just gonna do music. And now to see that we in film, we in marketing, we in books, we in food. You know what I mean? We do stuff with Patty LaBelle too, with the pies and Patty pies and the drinks and stuff like our partners. So it's funny that we just in so many different things that I would have never fathomed that. So don't limit yourself, because sky's is the limit. You know, and be open to try and experiment different things and go out there and just do it, because like he always said, the only person that's stopping you
Only
is you.
human hands that can stop you. Your own. And one last thing, like, I think back to like our season finale, in our second season, and we're a web series. Like, T.I. was on our show, and I mean, this is a guy who's been in blockbuster films. He was in Takers, he was in ATL, like, you know, blockbuster films, and it's like, wow, you know. And I'm sitting back and I'm watching T.I. on set, and we're shooting this scene, and it just made me realize that when I thought of the idea to do this web series. I never fathomed it getting this big. So the truth is, you never realize how big your dreams are until you take them out that little head of yours and bring them out there into the world.
Yeah, forget that. I remember when the biggest moment for me was when we walked in Jay-Z office.
Oh yeah, and Jay-Z was like,
yo,
Rave! Like, and I'm
he
like,
loved the show, like,
yeah, you know.
and he could relate to it, and it was like, you had time to watch. Like, when does Jay-Z pull out his phone
Yes.
and watches this on the internet?
and
It sits down.
we
and
had
sit-
in-depth conversations
Yeah.
about characters and about scenes.
Yeah,
and he's like,
so-
no, man, I love this show, and it's just like
that was bugged out to me. Like, yo, he really sat there. What did he watch this at? Like, what state he was in? What country is it? Like, he really checked this out. So that was crazy to us, man. And just to see everybody being so receptive to what we were doing, you know what I mean? And not only that, there's just so many great little things, nuances, and you got to thank God, put Him first for everything, and because it wouldn't be possible without even Him giving us the ability to do that. And what I would say, to spawn so many other web series after us.
yeah, because Fox 5 did a story on us because they said that we actually started a whole renaissance. in street cinema, because once we did what we did, there were about 1,000 other people that picked up cameras and started telling their own narratives and creating their own web series. So we just started this whole like
They even got
renaissance.
a web series awards
Now they have an Urban Web Series Award. They actually honored us at their first Urban Web Series Awards,
Congratulations on that. That's
saying
great.
that, you
That's
know, we
awesome.
were the ones that started this whole
and it's
Urban Web
fun-
Series
and,
trend.
and,
So.
and the dope thing is, I don't mean to overtalk you. The dope thing is getting honored by our peers and recognized from kids that started after us, but then also getting recognized by like the Tribeca Film Festival,
Yeah.
and being in publications like Billboard or Variety, and getting those stories written about us, and that was incredible too to see. We never thought that far. We just said, yo, you know something? We gonna try to make this as big as we possibly can make it, and then the people did everything else. You know what I mean? So that was really dope, man.
That's awesome. Well, I know Ballerz World appreciates having you guys here. So
Thank you for
much
having us.
much love coming from us, and so thank you.
Yeah,
And thanks for
thank
sitting down with me.
Thank
No,
you.
thank you for having us. Even though you talking about me sliding some dude DMs.
You walked yourself into it. I know.
It's
I'm
all
sorry.
good.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go
Edit
slide
it
in
out.
like 3 or 4 chicks DM right now so I can redeem myself.
Do it.
Feel
Right?
better.
You know, I'm like, what else is
Put
there?
my
No,
phone
I
out.
swear, I like
Oh yeah,
sliding.
check us out. Go to my Instagram, please. C Styles 911. Right, that's it. C Styles 911 on Instagram. That's C Styles across the board, Twitter, Facebook, and all that.
And you can follow me at Cloud9TV_. That's CLOUD, the number 9TV_.
Yeah.
And that's all for this edition of Overtime. Be sure to check it out on our YouTube at Ballerz World.